Hare Krishna. Today I will discuss the glories of Lord Shiva. So let us see the glorious position of Lord Shiva in relation with Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. In India, there is a considerable number of followers of Lord Shiva, but unfortunately they do not have a proper understanding of his actual position. In Srimad Bhagavatam 12.13.16, it is mentioned, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Shambhu or Shiva is the greatest devotee. He is the best of all types of Vaishnavas. Lord Shiva is a great devotee of Lord Shankarshan, who is an expansion of Krishna. This is the reason why Lord Shiva is often found in a chanting or meditating position. In the Rudra Gita section of Srimad Bhagavatam, he instructed the Prachetas how to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are 12 personalities, great personalities called Mahajans, who preach Krishna consciousness. And it is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Swayambhur Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Pralado Janako Bhishmo Valirvaya Shakirvayam. Lord Brahma, Narada, Shiva, the four Kumaras, Lord Kapila, Swayambhuva Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, Bhishma Pitamaha, Bali Maharaj, Shukadev Goswami and Yamaraj are the 12 great personalities who know the real religious principles. And of course, Lord Shiva is one amongst them. Lord Shiva tells his wife Sati, Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasra Nama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane, which means Lord Shiva is actually, he obtains great pleasure in chanting the names of Lord Ram. So he is telling Shati that one name of Lord Ram is equal to chanting 1,000 names of Vishnu. Lord Shiva is actually an expansion of Lord Krishna, but he is subservient to the Lord. In Brahma Samhita it is mentioned, Shiram yathadadi vikara vishesha yogad Sanjayate nahi tatha pritagasti hetu Yashambhutam api tatha samupaiti karyad Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Brahma is telling that just as milk is transformed by the action of acids into curd, the Shambhu is a transformation of Krishna or Govinda for the purpose of destruction, for the performance of destruction. So Lord Krishna is actually the controller of Tamogun. Lord Brahma is the controller of mode of goodness, a mode of passion, or Rajogun. And Lord Shiva is the controller of mode of ignorance or Tamogun. Lord Shiva is always accompanied by his material energy. The material energy is Goddess Durga or Goddess Kali, and she is always under his control. Goddess Kali or Durga serves him by killing all the asuras or demons. If this material world is compared with a jail, Goddess Durga is the jailer. She imprisons all the living entities who were rebellious against Krishna in this material world and punish them accordingly, according to their karma. Lord Shiva controls Goddess Durga. The asuras or the demoniac persons do not know that the secret of the energy of Lord Shiva. They don't know that the source of Shiva is Krishna and Krishna is Sarveshwareshwara. They don't know that. And all the prowess of Shiva comes from Krishna himself. So the asuras or demoniac persons prefer to worship Goddess Kali or Durga or Shiva for achieving some material benefits or benedictions. And due to their demoniac character, they are reluctant to surrender to Lord Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita 7.15, Krishna himself tells, Namam dushkriti no mura prapadyante naradhamaha mayaya parhita jnana ashuram bhavam ashritaha. So there are 4 types of persons. One who are mura, who are grossly foolish. Naradhama, the lowest among mankind. Mayaya aparhita jnana, the person whose knowledge is stolen by illusion. and Ashuram Bhavam Ashrita, the person who were atheistic nature. So these four types of person never surrender unto Krishna. Instead, they may surrender unto different demigods for achieving material benefits. Lord Shiva is always very, very merciful. His name is Ashutosh. Ashutosh means he is very easily pleased, very quickly pleased. Amongst all the demigods, Lord Shiva can be pacified even by the lowest class of men, who only need to offer him obeisance and leaves of a bale tree as offering. Generally, those who are very fond of material prosperity approach Lord Shiva for such benedictions. Lord Shiva, being very merciful, quickly awards them all the blessings they ask for. The devotees, however, are not never interested in material opulence. So they don't ask Lord Shiva for such benedictions. But the demons take advantage of this leniency of Lord Shiva. And sometimes they ask for benediction from Lord Shiva, which can be very dangerous for others. For example, Vrikashur did severe penances to please Lord Shiva, and then he got the benediction that he could kill anyone just by touching their head. And then the Ashura, having demoniac attitude, went on to touch the Shiva himself, to kill him, head of Shiva. Later on, Lord Vishnu was saved by Vishnu. As we know, all the demigods run to Vishnu in time of need or danger. But devotees of Lord Vishnu, however, have no desire for such benedictions. And Lord Vishnu does not give his devotees benedictions which would cause disturbance to the whole world. Another feature of Lord Shiva is that he is the protector of Dham. He is the eternal guardian of the Brajamandal area. Therefore, devotees of Lord Krishna ask his permission to be able to enter and circumambulate Brajamandal. He is, after all, the greatest Vaishnava, greatest devotee. So we see that there are 4 Shiva Lingas that protect the 4 sides of Mathura. And they are called Dikpal, or protectors of Mathura. Gokarneshwar Mahadev in the north, Pippaleshwar Mahadev in the east, Rangeshwar Mahadev in the south, and Bhuteshwar Mahadev in the west. They protect the Dham. Once, Lord Shiva, in the form of a begging sadhu, came to the house of Nanda Maharaj in Dwapar Yuga, at the time of advent of Krishna. So Lord Shiva came to the house of Nanda Maharaj in the form of a sadhu to have darshan of baby Krishna. But when Mother Yashoda saw that sadhu was with snakes around his neck and ashes all over his body, she feared that her little Krishna, would become frightened on seeing such a person. So she did not give the sadhu permission to see Krishna. So disappointed, Lord Shiva left and went to the forest to meditate on Krishna. And in the house, child Krishna was crying and no one could stop him. Mother Yashoda realized that maybe she did not receive the guest properly. So therefore there is some reaction of that action. So she sent everyone to find that yogi, tantric yogi who had come. And after a short while, Lord Shiva returned. When Lord Shiva came before Krishna, baby Krishna immediately stopped crying and smiled nicely. Mother Yashoda said that by your coming, my son has stopped crying. What can I do for you? Lord Shiva replied that he just wanted to be able to see Krishna and be able to eat the remnants of his food, eat his prasad. So on the side altar of the Nandagram temple, which is a beautiful, present-day beautiful temple of Krishna Balaram in Vrindavan, there is a Shivalinga called Nandishwar, who was installed by Bajranath. Bajranath is the great grandson of Krishna. So even today, the priests of the Nandagram temple offer the remnants of what is offered to Lord Krishna Balaram to the Nandishwar Linga in the temple. This Linga of Lord Shiva resides eternally in Nandagram, performing worship to Krishna. So Lord Shiva is very fond of Vrindavan Dham. Now another Leela. We know that Lord Shiva is a Dhira, a sober person who controls his senses efficiently. He is known as Jitendriya. But when Lord Shiva heard about the Supreme Lord has appeared in the form of an extremely beautiful woman, the Mohini Murti, he became very eager to see this incarnation. But when on his request Lord Vishnu appeared in front of him in the form of Mohini Murti, Lord Shiva was totally captivated by her beauty. His wife, beautiful wife Parvati, and all his followers were standing behind him, but he was so maddened by lust that he completely forgot himself and others and started running after that Murti. So he chased that damsel, the young girl, through forests and mountains and valleys for a long time, trying to catch her. Finally, when he discharged semen, he came back to his senses. Although he was very, very humiliated, he did not complain Lord Krishna for humiliating him in front of his wife and followers. But instead, when he came back to his senses, he started glorifying Lord Vishnu for his inconceivable potency by which even a Dhira, a sober person like him, could be illusioned and could be captivated by a woman. So we can clearly see that Lord Shiva is a devotee of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. Lord Shiva is a fan of Krishna. He uses the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna as his body soap. Now one may ask, why Lord Shiva roam with ghosts and live in graveyards? Now we see every Vaishnav has the quality of compassion towards the fallen souls. Pure devotees always think of uplifting other conditioned souls like us to the platform of Krishna consciousness so that we can revive our love of Krishna. The most fallen souls are the ghosts, the spirits, hobgoblins, bhutas, pretas. Because of their enormous past sinful activities, they didn't get a gross body. So they remain in the subtle body only. So Lord Shiva, being the topmost Vaishnav, has compassion towards the most fallen souls, the ghosts, the spirits, and the hobgoblins. So what he does, he puts on the garb of an ascetic, a tiger skin covered around his body, ashes smeared all over his body, serpents around his neck. He goes to the graveyard to make friends with the ghosts and spirits. And by his own association, he elevates them to achieve a human body. This shows the unlimited compassion of Shiva as the greatest devotee of Vishnu. Now, how should we Vaishnavas worship Lord Shiva? The ideal way of worship was shown by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. So Lord Chaitanya visited temples of Lord Shiva in South India and worshipped him as the topmost Vaishnava and one amongst the 12 Mahajans who preach the glories of Krishna. So Lord Shiva can always be seen absorbed in meditation or chanting on beads. So thus a devotee approaches Shiva in the same way as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, as the Prachetas did, with the desire of achieving the lotus feet of Krishna, with the desire of obtaining a drop of the ocean of love he has towards Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.